This video is sponsored by the half-empty Dunks cup that's been on your nightstand for 3 days. I won't sugarcoat it, girlies. We are in crisis. Our evil corporate overlords are working very hard every day to get sea levels to rise, and you would expect there to be a proportionate rise in mermaid games, but there isn't. You can find mermaids in literally every other type of medium. Books, TV, movies, music, fashion. There are even communities of people who wear fake tails and swim around for exercise and entertainment. But the one medium that has the potential to let anybody live out a full mermaid fantasy is barren. Itch.io has a handful of entries. Most of them are kind of unfinished. Steam looks like it might have promise, but if you look through most of the entries on this list, you will find they are monster girl porn. Yeah, you can probably think of a couple of games that have mermaids in them, or maybe they have like an underwater level where you get to play as a mermaid for a little bit of time. But if you want to play even one game where you play as a mermaid protagonist going on an underwater adventure for the entirety of the game, you are throughout all of video game history. Throughout every platform, consoles included, you are looking at about 7 or 8 titles in total that possibly qualify, which incidentally is less than every recorded sighting of the colossal squid.
She's an icon. She's a legend. And she is the moment. Then we go to the gay club, and who do I see as soon as I get in the door? Abby Lee Miller in her wheelchair. Yes. Dula Peep. And you know what? What was that? Okay. James. Yes. She's an icon.
Meanwhile, if you're a fucking scuba diver, life is dandy. Once I started noticing this trend, I couldn't stop seeing it everywhere, and it started driving me crazy. So now I'm going to point it out to you, so you will see it everywhere, and it will drive you crazy. Because literally every fucking underwater game is a scuba diver game. And yes, some of these are very good games, but I'm trying to make a point here. Even Barbie, which has several mermaid dolls on the roster, is out here with these scuba diver games. This is ridiculous. Never meet your heroes. Okay, yes, the scuba diver thing is infuriating, but looking at it from a game design perspective, there is a reason why it's happening and we need to talk about it. The idea of scuba diving comes with its own built-in mechanic of limited time. The longer you are underwater, the less oxygen you have in your tank. And the natural extension of that is that the things that you discover in this underwater environment will either increase or decrease the amount of time that you can spend in the environment. You can find materials or resources that allow you to expand your tank's capacity. And inversely, enemies that you encounter will, strike you, and maybe you lose a little bit of oxygen, or maybe you have to scramble to the surface quickly or you die. When you become a scuba diver and you're using the mechanics of limited time, the ocean environment inherently becomes a mysterious, exciting place. So now if you think about replacing the scuba diver protagonist with a mermaid protagonist, all of that built-in game design just goes away. In mermaid mythology, they can breathe underwater, so they're not worried about running out of oxygen or exploring the ocean for a limited time. Additionally, the ocean is their home, so it's not inherently a mysterious or risky place. So yes, anyone making a mermaid game would have to invent an entirely new reason for players to explore the ocean, and they would have to invent an entirely new base risk-taking mechanic besides limited time. And that must be so hard if you're a game designer and that's your whole job. How come there's no mermaid game where you play as like a really good singer? We are borrowing from siren mythology, and you're like in a rock band and you're trying to work your way across the 7 seas to go on tour and gain fans and become like the most popular mermaid singer in the ocean. And it could be a life sim RPG like Princess Debut or AK-47 in Me, where you have to choose what your character does every day to level up, and maybe you can date a member of a rival band, and there's lots of fun ocean puns and cool characters. Anyway, boom, that's a really cool mermaid game. How come nobody fucking makes that? How come there isn't a mermaid game where you play as a mermaid who goes goes fishing, except instead of the way we do it where we pull fish down, up, she's in the bottom, so she's pulling fish up, down, and since they don't get pulled out of the water, she kind of has to wrangle them around like in Jumbo Safari. And you can level up and customize your rod with different kinds of bait and equipment, and maybe you can use spells. So the really premium fish that's worth a lot of money is actually humans, and you're trying to like hook them out of your boat and drown them. I'm borrowing again from siren mythology here, but like in a cute way. How come there's not a mermaid game where you play as an archaeologist who explores like sunken ships and like fallen civilizations that like went to the bottom of the ocean, so you're scavenging like all the loot from drowned humans? Wow, there's a lot of drowned humans in this video. You bring all this stuff back, kind of like Indiana Jones, and you show it to your friend. You have like a cute friend who works at the museum, so she has all of these theories about human life that are like clearly wrong, kind of like Scuttle from The Little Mermaid. It's sort of like a little joke between you and the players, but the bulk of the game is going out and exploring all these different civilizations. And I don't know, the enemies could be like militarized ocean gate submarines or something. That's vile, that's too soon, I'm sorry. Why isn't there a game where you play as a mermaid farmer that grows kelp? Because kelp is really cool, and a lot of people think that it's a plant, but it's not a plant. It operates completely differently, and it's part of an entirely different like ocean ecosystem. So the game could be about like growing this weird little kelp stuff and trying to maintain it so you can harvest it, but you also attract other ocean life that lives in it to make more ingredients, and you can harvest that stuff too. When I was in 6th grade, we got all these different class assignments. We got assigned to study different ocean ecosystems, and of course everybody wanted to be assigned the coral reef, but I got assigned the kelp forest, which I thought was really lame and I hated it. But then I learned a lot about kelp, and kelp is actually really cool, you guys. Okay, you can eat it, you can use it for skincare, it produces a lot of oxygen for the planet, and basically what I'm saying is this segment may have just been a PSA for kelp. Okay, so there's like a bunch of fucking ideas, okay? Just in case you were struggling with that, I went ahead and did your job for you. I will see you in a few years. We're gonna reconvene. We're gonna see where the industry is at. I'll probably be disappointed again, but whatever. That's the end of this video. All right. Excuse me. Sorry, hi, wait a minute. Sorry, what? Aren't you and us, we are game developers. I can't help but notice that you're complaining a lot about mermaid games, but you're a game developer, so you could just make your own mermaid game. Well, you weren't gonna do it? Well, I actually, I was gonna go to the beach. We are game developers. I was planning on going to the beach, actually. Yeah. We can fix the problem that you're complaining about, actually. You can fix. We are the solution to the problem that we're complaining about. We could just make mermaid games. But I want to go to the beach. This is ridiculous. You've just identified a huge hole in the market, which probably has a lot of demand for it. You do know that the first person who capitalizes on this and makes a really good mermaid game is probably going to make a lot of money. That thing that you don't have that you're always also complaining about. I mean, you're right.
J'ai doté chez vous, dîner avec les chez vous. Using the internet for fun. Utilise internet. Mon amour et toi, I really love ya.